And we are live. What's going on, YouTube Live? It's your boy, Billy Rowe. Today is Wednesday. I'd like to welcome you to the first row. If it is Wednesday, you should already know by now what that means. It's time for your Wednesday word. That's Wednesday word. Jumping straight into it. Tonight's topic is, which vehicle should you use? As always, with every topic, I like to explain what I mean by my topic. So what do I mean by which vehicle should you use? We in life are presented with multiple opportunities to improve our health, opportunities to improve our income, opportunities to improve our relationships, opportunities, just an abundance of opportunities. However, when we are presented with these opportunities, or when we have a goal to get to a certain location, sometimes the opportunities that we choose are the incorrect opportunities to get us to that location that we're trying to get to. What's going on, Brother Key? So what I mean by which vehicle should we use, really the word vehicle in this particular topic represents which opportunity should we use to get to our vehicle, get to our location. Should we use, in the case of a vehicle, should we use a horse and buggy? Should we use a sports car? Should we use a space shuttle? Where it depends on where we want to go. So that's what I mean by which vehicle should we use. Tonight, I got 4 different tools that I'd like to share with you on helping you decide which vehicle you should use, which opportunity you should use to get to where you want to go. I hope you guys got your notepads and your paper ready, because it's going to be a blazing fast Wednesday word. So let's jump straight into it. So the first tool that I thought about when it comes to which vehicle we should use or which opportunity we should use to get to our destination was that it's important for us to understand 2 parts of the travel. We need to understand where we are traveling to and where we will be traveling at to get to it. So understanding where you're traveling at and or to is very important. It's a very important tool when selecting which vehicle, because as you know, like I said, you might be driving a sports car, you might be driving a horse and buggy, but those 2 different vehicles are designed for 2 different situations. So knowing where your opportunities are at and the different paths that you can take to get there will kind of help you understand which vehicle you should select overall. So let's say I'm driving on the freeway. We'll say the freeway. And I'm driving a NASCAR race car capable of going well over 200 miles per hour. I'm driving blazing along the freeway. At some point, there are going to be certain obstacles that I don't have the time to react to. There's going to be certain situations that I don't have the time to foresee because I'm moving at such a high rate of speed on a road or on a freeway that is not designed for a NASCAR race to take place on it. Also, the road itself may have different divots and unlevelness and potholes and all other kinds of things in it because it's not groomed like a racetrack is groomed. So if I understand that I'm going to be traveling on the freeway, I might not take a NASCAR or sports car. It's not fuel efficient. It's very fast. However, because of traffic being on the freeway, it's dangerous. It's actually not going to be a good indicator of me getting to the destination that I want to go to. So what would be like a NASCAR? Let's say, I'm trying to think of something that would be like NASCAR. Let's think of something a little bit slower than NASCAR. Let's say I'm taking a Honda or a Hyundai Elantra, I think is what it's called. Let's say I'm taking a slower vehicle. That vehicle is designed to be on a freeway. It doesn't accelerate fast, but it is designed to be on a freeway. However, if I take that into the NASCAR racing arena, people are going to be running circles around me. They might technically finish the race before I finish 10 laps in a Hyundai Elantra. So the first thing is understanding where you're traveling at, what the road conditions are, what that path is designed to be able to handle. And the second part is to understand where you're traveling to. If you're going a long distance, you may not want to take a horse and a buggy approach. You might want to take something that has a little more get up to it. You might want to catch a flight. You might want to be in a plane rather than a vehicle or rather than on a boat. So because you understand where you're going to, the distance of where you're going to, you want to make sure that you are selecting the appropriate vehicle based on that criteria. The next tool that I came up with in regards to which vehicle should you use was not all vehicles are created the same. And so this is why it's important for you to understand where you're traveling at and to, because not all vehicles are created the same. So if, let's say I'm using a Dodge Viper, and if we're going to talk, and let's switch this a little bit out of cars and into opportunity. I'm talking about something fast. Let's talk about fast money. I'm trying to get fast money, fast cash. There are some things that are illegal that I can do to get fast money, fast cash. However, typically if I hit a roadblock or hit an obstacle with that fast money, fast cash doesn't get me to the overall end goal, which is typically financial freedom, retirement, not having to work anymore, different things that I might be trying to achieve at the end. I may not get there because I'm traveling something that is very fast, very costly, very expensive to keep up and keep repaired. However, I may not make it to my destination because, well, I just left California recently, just simply the price of premium fuel that I would be spending money on. I might not be able to afford to make it to my destination. So maybe I'll take something a little more economical in the sense of it can carry more, it moves a little slower, and is more efficient. So let's say I take an SUV. An SUV is something that is designed to carry a lot of cargo. It has towing capabilities if you get a little tow hitch created on the back of it or installed on the back of it. However, it too is not fuel efficient. So if I want to go a long distance on the road, the most fuel efficient option would probably be something that is a hybrid, something that can get me from point A to point B. However, along the way, if it runs out of electric energy, it has a means to keep going. You don't want to be in the middle of a 10,000 mile drive, which is not possible in this particular continent, nor I don't think it's possible in any continent, but 10,000 mile drive nonetheless. You don't want to be in the middle of a 10,000 mile drive and run out of battery and then not have the means to recharge your vehicle. You don't want to be in the middle of a 10,000 mile drive and not have fuel, not stop at the last gas station that you should have stopped at. But if you have the combination of that hybrid electric energy, that is something that can get you to a further destination. Hybrid electric energy, what does that maybe transfer into the opportunity world? Maybe that's having the experience of working in a certain organization or working in a certain skill set and then turning around and compiling that or not compiling, I'm sorry, accompanying that with a college education. So not only do you have the educational background that says, hey, I have studied in this particular area, or I am at least studious and can study in different areas and apply that knowledge. But I also have the working experience and working understanding of that particular area. And then last but not least, as always, I'm going to keep bringing probably this horse and buggy up. Horse and buggy, it's nice. It's nice if you're trying to do something romantic. Maybe you'll go, I'm from Sacramento. Maybe you'll go to Old Sacramento, get in the horse and buggy, ride that horse and buggy for a little bit around the park. And that's nice at that pace because of what the actual mission or objective may be. However, if you're working with this horse and buggy mentality when it comes to relationships, slow and steady may work for developing certain types of relationships, but at some point, it's not going to work for solving immediate issues. So there are times where you may find yourself swapping or changing vehicles because of the need of the pace that you need to travel at. So that's the second tool, is not all vehicles are created the same. So make sure you understand not all opportunities are created the same and that you're selecting the right opportunities for yourself. The third tool that I came up with is know what kind of fuel your vehicle needs. And it's funny because I can't remember what year. It was probably 7 years ago or so. I owned a vehicle. Hey, what's going on, Brother Gap? I owned a vehicle that was that required premium fuel. And this is during the time that fuel prices in California were almost to $5 a gallon for premium fuel. So had I really understood the fuel type of the vehicle when I initially bought it, like, oh, this requires premium fuel, and I'm used to paying the lower grade of fuel. Had I understood that, I probably would not have purchased that vehicle, because that vehicle in fuel cost me much more than a different vehicle that was pretty much that would have been the same type of vehicle or the same capabilities. It cost me more than what I would have been able to pay for a more economical vehicle. So knowing what kind of fuel your vehicle needs is important. The reason this is important is because if you have a sports car and it requires premium fuel, you can't put lower grade model fuel in it. Matter of fact, you wouldn't put water in it as fuel because it's not a hydroelectric vehicle. It is a car that requires gasoline combustion. So since it requires gasoline combustion and it tells you to put a premium fuel in it, you wouldn't fill your sports car up with water and say, hey, I'm going to take off on the fastest thing flying. It's not going to work at all. However, let's say you have a jet and you want to fly a long distance in a short period of time. You're going to require jet fuel. Or if you want to go to space, you're going to require rocket fuel. I can't go and sit at AM/PM and just fill my rocket up with a bunch of AM/PM gas or fill it up even probably with premium gas. It's probably not going to take off. It's not going to go where I want it to go. It's not going to get me to where I want to get. And then there's another aspect of this, because let's say, you're in the desert and the vehicle of choice in the desert is not typically like an automobile. It's typically a camel, something that is designed to travel long distances. It can hold a good amount of water for itself. It just needs a little bit of grass or some type of shrubbery so it can eat and stay energized. That is basically what a camel, I'm sorry, I got distracted by the chat. That is what a camel can do. It has the ability to travel that terrain. It has the ability to travel in the desert. However, I can't fill a camel up with gasoline. I have to fill it up with food and water and make sure that I pack food and water so when it needs to eat again, that I can provide those things. But I'm not going to use fuel as far as like we would use in an automobile. And so what kind of fuel the vehicle needs is really important, because without the right type of fuel, you're not even going to get to the corner. And if you're in a rocket, you're not even going to get off the ground, let alone to the corner. So that's the third tool that is important. And then the fourth and final tool, when it comes to which vehicle should you use, is it's important to understand that you're not stuck with one vehicle for your entire life. So I don't know. I think I've had like maybe 5 vehicles in my entire life, and all of them provided different needs for the time that I had them at. But I think that's the biggest lie that we tell ourselves when it comes to opportunity, is that there's only one option, or the option that we are currently on has to be the path that we've taken, whether it's because we've spent so much time in that option. Let's say that option is a relationship. We've spent so many years in this relationship and we just don't want all that work to be for nothing. So we're going to stick with this because it's better. What do they say? It's better I forget, better the devil you know, I think, or something like that. It's better to be in this relationship that's not good and it doesn't feel like a positive experience than to move to another relationship that could be, or just be single and be just fine. To move to another relationship and or be single and be able to experience a healthier life or experience a healthier journey. So I think that's the biggest lie that we tell ourselves, is that there's just this one opportunity that we have to stick to. It is what it is, and that's the one that we're going to use. There's a couple things that may happen with a vehicle. A vehicle may break down. So let's say, my opportunity is a job. I'm working a job and I get laid off. That is a vehicle breakdown. We were just talking about that last night on last night's Interstation Don't Panic, how, hey, jobs, sometimes there's layoffs. And what you do with that is you got to go back to work at some point. Sometimes you go back to work for more. Sometimes you go back to work for the same. Sometimes you go back to work for less. And maybe you have to work 2 jobs in the middle while you're working on getting to that next job. There also may be a bridge vehicle. So like I said, I had 5 vehicles over the course of my life. My first vehicle was not the most reliable and trusty vehicle. It was the one that I could afford. And so I bought a vehicle that maybe would have needed some work a lot sooner than had I paid for a more expensive vehicle. But I understood that that vehicle was simply a bridge to get me from walking to driving, or walking, riding a bike, to driving. And now that I am driving, I can actually branch out to other opportunities and make more income. And with more income, I can afford another car or a more reliable car, should I choose to spend my money on that. And then the third one is that the vehicle may not be efficient for the upcoming part of your journey. I think that's one of the things that we sometimes hold on to, that car that breaks down every day, or that you have to tap the starter on to get it going. We hold on to it well beyond the time that we should be using it, or we come to a terrain or a road that is not designed for it. If I'm rolling around in a Geo Metro and I come to the end of a paved highway, that is not really designed for me to go off-roading with, and my car will more than likely stall and or get stuck or overheat because it's in circumstances that it was not designed to travel on. So instead of forcing yourself or forcing your vehicle to go places that it's not supposed to go and to be in places that it's not supposed to be, take time to understand that you're not stuck with a vehicle for your entire life. And it might be time to upgrade. Hey, it might be time to downgrade, depending on what it may be. There's plenty of other options out there when it comes to vehicles as far as transportation. You can catch the bus, you can catch a Lyft or an Uber. All those are all those are options. And just like there's vehicle options, opportunities come with options. You have the right to choose it, or you have the right to let it pass. So those are the 4 tools that I came up with for tonight when it comes to which vehicle should we use, or which vehicle should you use. And I'm going to even include myself, which vehicle should we use? Really quick, I want to go over them again. Understanding where you are traveling at or to is number 1. Number 2 is not all vehicles are created the same. You're going to have to be able to figure out which vehicle is best suited for your journey. Number 3 is know what kind of fuel your vehicle needs. Look, energy moves us forward. It moves us in a direction. If we don't have the right energy, we can't go as far as we want to go. And then number 4 is you're not stuck with one vehicle for your entire life. You're not stuck with one opportunity. I don't care where you're at right now in life. That opportunity that you are on right now, you're not stuck with that, and be willing to make the changes that you need to make to get off of that opportunity and choose other opportunities, should that be the case and you want to do that. So as always with the Wednesday Word, I like to share a personal story on how I kind of started thinking about this topic. And actually, I'd like to give a shout out to Charles Loeb Wilson. He actually sparked this thought in me for this particular topic. We were having brunch while I was in Sacramento, and this is something that he brought up about the, you can drive a sports car, or you can be on a horse and a carriage. Both of them are transportation, but they just get you to different destinations at different rates of speed. So shout out to him for doing that. Definitely appreciate you for bringing some more content to the first row. But as always with the Wednesday Word, I like to share a personal story about which vehicle I have decided to use, or I continue to decide to use. And so the story that I like to share is in regards to changing jobs. To me, jobs are an opportunity to make income, to get promoted, to do all kinds of things in your life. However, not every job is for you. So like, let's say right now I'm an analyst. If somebody came to me with the opportunity to be a doctor, I don't care how analytical I am, I'm probably not going to do a good job at being a doctor. So when it comes to my current situation, my current job, I'm currently happily employed where I work at, but I was approached for another position with another organization. And so when I was approached, obviously now the split of the options, the split of the decisions come up on which vehicle should I use. Should I use the vehicle that I'm driving in right now? And is this vehicle just being used as a bridge to get me to an opportunity like this? Or I should jump over to this opportunity and take it? Or is this the vehicle that's right for me? Or is this the vehicle that's right for me? Like, this is where I'm at. I'm at a crossroads. And when I take time to think and reflect and really try to understand what I should do in this situation, I start thinking about this topic on which vehicle I should use. So I'm going to break it down kind of along the lines of the tools. The first question I ask myself is, where am I traveling to? So my goal right now is to eventually end in a D-level or C-level employee. So a director level or a chief level, that's higher, a chief level employee. And so I have to ask myself, if that's where I want to travel to, where are there more opportunities to accomplish that goal right now, based on the information that I have, based on the experience that I have? Are the opportunities in a company that has a massive amount of employees, a massive amount of positions, and is ranked a top 15 employer in the nation? Or are the opportunities in a smaller firm where there's going to be lots of responsibility? However, it may take a while for the growth to take place. So that's the first question I have to ask myself. The second question is what is the vehicle type? Is the larger organization the type of vehicle that's going to help me move forward towards my goal? Or is it the type of organization that's going to move me backwards and keep me from making the strides that I want to make professionally? Or same questions for the smaller one. Is it something that's going to move me and push me towards my goal? Or is it something that's going to be moving me backwards? So that's the second question I had to ask. What's the vehicle type? The third one is how much does the fuel cost? And this is a very interesting question when it comes to employment opportunities. And I didn't understand this until I took my most recent job. I actually relocated for my most recent job outside of the state of California. And in relocating out of the state of California, I experienced a significant cost of living versus like how much rent costs, how much fuel costs, how much food costs. All these different things are substantially lower in the place that I live now. And because of that, that's how I'm looking at my fuel cost. So I can go back to California and make more money than I make currently here in Utah. However, does that more money equate to actual more money at the end of the day when I get done paying taxes, when I get done paying for fuel, when I get done paying for food, rent, all those things? So I'm asking myself, how much does the fuel cost? Because if I don't know how much the fuel cost difference is for my vehicle types, i.e. how much it costs to live in California versus how much it costs to live in Utah, then somebody saying, hey, I'll give you $5 more an hour, that may sound like, oh yeah, great, $5 more an hour. Unfortunately, then you get to California and realize you needed $10 more an hour. So you just got in a vehicle that was more expensive for the fuel. And hopefully it can get you to where you want to go, but you have to realize it's going to come at a cost. It's going to come at a cost of the quality of life. So that's the third question that I asked myself. And then lastly, because I understand opportunities come and go, I asked myself, basically, am I willing to let this opportunity pass? Am I willing to let this opportunity go to a place without me taking it? And I don't feel like I'm losing something. And the reason I don't feel like I'm losing something is because I'm weighing out which vehicle, which opportunity I want to be in. And so right now, as things stand, the larger company that I work for is going to present more long-term opportunities to get to the destination that I want to get to, the D level and the C level employment. Whether I get there in this organization is irrelevant. The fact is that the experience and the growth that I can experience in this organization, that will help push me towards that trajectory and start upgrading some of my fuel from, premium gasoline to rocket fuel, because I'm trying to take off. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm still in the midst of this particular vehicle assessment to figure out which vehicle is going to be right. However, I feel like my gut is putting me in the right direction, and that I'm going to make the best choice to choose the right vehicle for where I really want to go. So that's what I want you guys to take away tonight is, which vehicle should you use is really about which opportunities should you be saying yes to and which opportunities should you be saying no to based on where you're going to be traveling at and where you're trying to get to. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the Wednesday Word. I've always enjoyed when you guys are here in the live chat. Keith, thanks for answering Screenwriter's question. Appreciate you, brother. But I do want to let you know a couple things. Number one, I want to let you know Keith Bryant, he did a great show on Monday that you guys should check out if you haven't checked out yet. If you're looking to become a homeowner, he did a Keeping It Real Estate on the first steps of becoming a homeowner. And so if I were you and you're looking to purchase a home, I would go back into the first row and look that video up. You can look it up under the playlist, or you can look it up because it's a recent video, just simply under the homepage. But I would look that up and watch that video, because if you're looking to become a homeowner, there was some great information provided on what steps you should be taking to do so. And then upcoming live shows that we actually have a special intersession coming this Thursday, tomorrow, April 11th at 7 p.m. That will be an intersession I like that, intersession panel on interracial marriages and relationships, part 2. So we did part 1 at the end of last month in March. And so now we're on part 2, a whole new panel that's coming with whole new insights, whole new questions. I hope you guys can tune in with us live, contribute to the conversation, ask questions, and get engaged. So that's what we have going on. Again, I'm so grateful that you guys have decided to join me and spend some time in the growth pool of the first row. I appreciate you guys sitting on the first row. Look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Until the next time, if you like this video, share it. If you share it, like it. I'm happy to engage with you in the comments. If you're watching on the replay, happy to engage with you in the comments up to the first week after the content has been released. After that, we move on to the next content. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. One love, peace, and God bless.